Morning, everybody. I can't actually remember doing most of those things that Lee said, and it doesn't feel that long ago, but it actually is, which is a bit crazy. But before I kick in and really talk about what we're going to talk about today, I want to just acknowledge the expertise in the room. When I say that, what I really want to do is think about yourself now. Think about what you know in your head right now, and just imagine for a second if you knew what everyone else in this room knew. Why is that important? Okay? If you knew what everybody knew, there is no way that anyone could stop you winning the next client. You'd be unstoppable. You'd know everything. You would never make mistakes. Your customers would be constantly coming back to you because you can deliver. And knowing what you can know to your nth degree is really what I want to talk about today. So, let's think about clients. What do our customers want? What do they really want to secure our growth? Our customers, they're not buying what we've done in reality, and they're not really buying how we've done it. What they're really after for us is our expertise. And our expertise sits within our people. Our people and your talent within your business are the key to unlocking growth and unlocking new clients and new portfolios. Now, I started obviously back in architecture, transitioned into construction, and I worked on lots of jobs, doing the main work on site, and then transitioned into this role of head of digital engineering. And as I did it, I was in our head office in London, and a senior construction exec came over to me. And he said to me, "Matt, what's this crazy title? What's this thing? What's this digital stuff? Explain it to me." So I cobbled together this kind of poorly worded excuse to try and explain what it is that I'm doing. And he shot me down immediately. And he said to me, "Matt, I've been working in this company for 50 years. Right? Do you really think that your technological gizmos are going to replace what's up here?" Now, I stepped back at this point, and he's dead right, but one thing I took away from it, right, 50 years. 50 years this guy been working for our company. That is unbelievable. Now, if we think about that, it's really unlikely that our current graduates will ever proceed to a 50-year one-company career. Equally, it's even more unlikely that our current graduates will work in a career under one area of expertise for 50 years. So how can we ever expect our talent and our future talent to ever accumulate the experience of this 50-year career professional? How will they experience the highs and the records he's achieved, and equally, how will they experience the mistakes? How do they get to a position where we can get their expertise and unlock that growth? Anyone recognize this guy? There is a prize. Anyone recognize this guy and why he is, and what record he holds? Anyone can put a hand up. You can go for it. Say again? Well, I'm not quite sure I heard, but I don't want to lie about the prize. There wasn't a prize, to be honest. But no, this is Eliud Kipchoge, right? And before I tell you about why he's talking, I just want to call it out and go, man, the guy looks sharp. Now, if you see the full-length picture, which has been cropped, he's got these dodgy socks on, which lets the picture down, but he does look awesome. Now, the reason I'm talking about Eliud Kipchoge is in October 2019, this guy was the first person to break a sub-2-hour marathon, and he just broke his own record for a proper marathon. So you might be wondering, why am I talking about this guy? All right? I'm talking about this guy because he's a world-class talent, but why did he do it first? So a few acknowledgements first. He is one of the greatest of all time. If anyone should be breaking a record like that, it should be him, but this guy had help, okay? The location, Vienna, temperate climate, built to make his success work. The road that he ran on was straight, no uphill challenges for Kipchoge. Around him, there were runners, his pacemakers, which deflected the wind, extra resistance taken away from Kipchoge, and in front of them there was a car which projected a laser which told them with live data and insights exactly where they should be along the whole route. And then finally, enter the Nike Alpha Fly Next Percent trainer, sneaker, shoe, I'm not sure what the term is, the shoe. Now this gave an ergonomic improvement to Kipchoge. Now it's controversial at the time, but if we look at all these things that helped him, they did not diminish his achievement, no way. They empowered it. They allowed him to go further, unlock those records, and the shoes at his feet empowered his success. So if I come back to our 50-year career professional, I've got to acknowledge and agree with him that technology will not replace him. It won't. To grow your business, to grow our businesses, what we need to do, though, is put that right shoes on our people's feet, to collectively push them further. The question of how to replace a 50-year career professional is the wrong question. Our question should be, what shoes are we going to put at the feet of our people today to capture their collective expertise? to capture the collective expertise of not just a couple of people, but the whole people within your industry, within your business. How do we connect them together? And instead of having one person with 50 years, we could have 24 people, 5 years experience. That's 120 years worth of collective experience. Now, I'm going to take you through an example of this at Lendlease. But before I do so, I want to acknowledge we're at AU, right? So if I think about AU is like the Foot Locker of tech, right? There's so many shoes here you could choose and take away. You could do anything. And the concept of what I'm talking about today is not about 5 or 10 years away or pipelines of what's going to come. It's about what can we take away immediately today to put on the feet of our people. And what I'm really going to talk about is design. That's where I believe that we have the most opportunity, and in particular, design approval. Why design approval? It's the contractual backbone of how we interact with our customers. It sounds a bit boring potentially, but it isn't, right? It's really important we get this right. So how does it come together at Lendlease? How do we do design approval? Why is it relevant? Well, what we do is we engage a consultant team, we give them a brief. That brief has like an end game. We say, go away, design that information and come back with it. They go away, start drawing. Hopefully at some point, they coordinate with their own little people and work together and have something that's kind of okay. They then package that up and then they issue it to us. And this is the really important part for me. Right, we cannot get away from this position where we currently stand right now in the industry. At this point, someone in your business, someone in our business, has to make a conscious decision of how good that information is. That's really hard, and it ends up in one of 4 camps. The information is not good enough and we send it back. The information is perfect, we use it, contractually progress, build, grow. The information, yeah, we're not really sure if it's okay or not, and therefore I'm going to take my time, I'm going to err on the side of caution, and I'm going to send it back. Or worst of all, the information, I'm not sure if it's okay, but now I've got a really angry contractor shouting at me, telling me to get it out the door, or I've got a really passionate client going, get it out the door, and I choose to push it through, and I choose to use that information and build. So why is this a problem for us? Well, making the right call is an incredibly difficult thing to do. To make those calls, particularly on item number 2 there, it requires someone to understand what they're looking at and have the experience to confidently make that call. Making a call on design information at any point requires that combination of talent and experience. So where's our opportunity in this conversation? It's here, right in the middle of setting the brief and delivering the output and approval. And it's in this window of opportunity we get to look at the level of information, look at the quality of that information as it's being produced. Now, if you think BIM's been smashing this for years, but I'm not talking about BIM. I'm talking about every single piece of information which flows through our business, which our people all look at in order to make the right decisions for us. The more the interaction here with your talent, the better your information will be when it's delivered, and the more accurate it will be on the first attempt. The more consistent your programs will be. Now, it's really important here to recognize that right now in your business, right now in our business, at this very moment, because of time zones, I'm not sure what time it is in the UK, it's probably happy hour, but what we would have here is we've got somebody making a decision. Someone is looking at a piece of information right now, and I will guarantee they'll be unsure as to whether or not it's correct, and they might make the wrong decision. But equally, I'll guarantee someone else in that business will know it's correct and will know the right decision. And our objective and our opportunity is to connect them together instantaneously. Imagine that our brains are one, and we make that right decision. Let me give you an example here. Introducing Danny. Danny is not like a Lendlease Alexa. Danny's a guy who works for us, okay? Danny is a safety executive. He is looking after our safety business, okay? For our projects, he deals with safety. He's there to make sure I don't do anything silly. And having sat in the seat on projects, I hated meetings with Danny because Danny was an expert in safety. I wasn't. The most important thing for him was safety, so I had to really be careful with how I engaged with him. But there was a really big issue, and I was missing the expertise that he was offering me. Now, what happened on a typical project? We'd have a design meeting, and on the 8th week, meetings every week by the way, but on the 8th week we'd have a safety meeting. Now the problem here was, for the previous 7 weeks we did nothing. On the 7th week, I'd tell everyone to get ready, they do nothing. But then on the 8th week, the day before the meeting, we'd have a huge uplift in information. And then we'd get out of it an Excel static, boring, basic report. Now the problem with that report, it was useless. We couldn't use that to empower our other projects. They couldn't see the mistakes or the challenges that I was facing at the time on the project. And equally, I couldn't see their mistakes and they couldn't help me avoid challenges of our projects going forward. So we made a change. What we looked to do at that point was to embrace our BIM technology at the time, but then widen it to every piece of information. And we decided to throw away the concept of design meetings every 8 weeks and do every time we look at design, we look at safety. Every time we look at information, we're questioning whether or not it's safe to build. And in doing so, we built a consistent platform. So for this thing, ACC, issue management. But by having that consistent on every single project the same way, it allowed me to communicate and our people to communicate with each other immediately and say, this is our challenge, this is our problems, and they can give it us back. Live, instantaneous data to connect our expertise. What did that give us? 400% more data. Sounds like an arbitrary figure, but this is a tracked figure of the increase of information we had just on safety. That's data that we can cut and carve, understand who are the causes of our problems, what materials, what typologies, at what stage. Is it procurement? Is it build? What is it? That is a process that we've called safety and design. And our safety and design process is the shoe that we've given to our people to allow them to connect together so that I can understand the same level of expertise that Danny has and I can benefit from it and make the right calls. Because that's what our customers are after. So is it really important? Well, yes, at Lendlease, we've got a huge pipeline. Thousands and thousands of homes that we need to deliver across the globe. And that's going to require our people to make really difficult decisions. How are we going to get to an absolute zero carbon target? Now, these decisions they're going to have to make at speed and at pace without the expertise that they may need from other people. So how can we give them this opportunity to make the right call, to achieve that zero carbon target, to deliver safety at first class, to give our customers homes they want to enjoy? Tech will not achieve this alone. Tech won't replace their ideas. We need to be able to connect them together to expertise, to connect them to our consultants, to our collaborators, to you guys, to get that expertise to make the right call. Our customers want that expertise, and they acknowledge that tech won't replace it. And our people here, they are our differentiators, and their knowledge is our most powerful asset to growing our business. So to grow and harness our talent, we need to now place the right shoes, not in 5 or 10 years' time, but today. So, ending this call and ending this talk, I'd ask you guys today to think, what can I take away from AU that can give some technology at the feet of our people today to capture your collective experience for your business and give your customers that growth and yourselves that you want to achieve? Thank you.